But let's bring on a real magician. Let's say hello to Nine-Digit Dave. Hey, Dave.
How's it going?
It's going great. Good to see you. Okay, now someone asked me right off when I said you were going to be on the show, why 9 digits? What happened to the other one?
Oh, there was an accident in March, beginning of March. I was making an open air photo booth. Do you know what those are?
No.
So it's a photo booth. You put an iPad in and a LED light in, and then you go ahead and you have it in an open air situation. You have whatever backdrop you want to, and people take pictures of themselves at parties. Anyways, my wife is a balloon artist, and I was making one of those for her because we were getting into the photo booth industry before the COVID hit. And I was on the last cut, and it was on the joiner planer, and I was not using a push stick, which is a piece of protection you should use, and always use protection. And yeah, my finger it kicked back, the wood did, and my finger went straight down to the spinning blade, and that's what happened to it right about there.
Oh, I thought maybe someone crossed their legs at the wrong time. I didn't know, but that's how does that affect your work?
Not much. Actually, I had that happened on March 6th. I had shows on March 9th, March 11th, and the last show was on the March 14th before the city shut down. And I did all 3 shows, so it was fine.
Great. So, how long have you been a magician?
Since I was 5. Long time. I'm 39 now, so 34 years.
What was your first trick?
First trick.
People often ask me that.
Well, it's how long is the show? So first trick was there was the cut and restored rope. There was a rope that I cut, and I had a lot of problems with the scissors. Funny, I had problems back then with sharp objects too. So kind of ironic.
Yeah, and you just decided what sparked it?
So there was a clown up in Reno, Nevada at Circus named Ravioli, who, when I was very, very young, he put a sponge ball into my hand and one into his hand, and he hit my hand 3 times, and then his sponge ball disappeared and reappeared in my hand, so I had 2, mine and his. And I wanted to know how it was done, and there was a book out there called Mark Wilson's Complete Course in Magic, and so my parents bought me that book, and that's kind of how I learned how to read, was by reading magic books. And yeah,
that is great that your parents supported you like that. That is terrific. Yeah. So it was a hobby. When was your first paid gig as a magician?
I don't know. You can stretch the truth and say my first paid gig was from my grandmother at age 12. But I would say first paid gig was probably around age 15 when I got hired by an association to go and do a gala for them. So that was fun.
And you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. I've had some normal jobs. Did some Uber driving in there, and also was a substitute teacher for a while. Those gig life type jobs that you need to make your own schedule. So. Oh,
I've lived my whole life as a gig lifer, so I know what you're talking about. So where do you perform in Las Vegas when you can perform?
Sure, you bet. When I can perform, all up and down the strip, businesses hire me to come in and entertain their groups of people, either their clients or their employees, and mainly it's strolling magic from group to group. So it's in all sorts of ballrooms and banquet halls and things like that. And then also the wife and I, we have a stand-up comedy magic show called Pink Tie, like necktie, Pink Tie Magic, Cynical and Senseless Sorcery. And so I get to play the cynical one, and that's all I'm really allowed to say.
That's great. So what's keeping you busy during this time?
Oh, it's funny. You put up the website right in time for that question. Yes. So the Zoom shows, and actually it's more on StreamYard now, but they're virtual shows, and it's really be done for a lot of people at a time. And they're at their house miles away, sometimes a few states away, whatever it is. And then I'm here in Las Vegas I'm actually in my dining room right now, and able to go and do shows from here. So it's great.
Well, show me a trick.
All right. Definitely. Do you have a piece of paper on you and maybe a marker?
Yes, I do.
You do. Imagine that. What are the odds?
Some say the odds are very good with me. All right. What do I do?
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I've got a bunch of index cards right here. And we're going to go and take one of these index cards. I'm going to go and draw something on it. I want you to think of a drawing. By the way, this does not always work out. This is known as mentalism. It's kind of like a mind reading thing. And we haven't known each other that long, so we'll see how successful we are. But I want you to think of an object, something you can draw, a simple picture. Make sure it's not like an abstract design. So if you thought like a stop sign, that's an octagon. Think of something like an actual thing. And I want you to go and draw it on your piece of paper and keep it out of the camera. And when you get done drawing it, I want you to go ahead and fold the paper up into quarters, if you would. And I'm going to go and draw myself something right here. Just a simple drawing. Again, not an abstract object, but just something. You got something?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm going to go and finish up my drawing. My drawing is going to go inside the center right there. And perfect. And there we go. I set it inside the glass where it came from. For the first time, go and open up your drawing. Let's see if this worked out. Amber.
Open it up?
Yeah, what up? Show it to the camera. What did you get? What did you draw?
Oh, I'm such a good artist. It's cheese.
Cheese. That's it's very interesting. You picked cheese because you were going for cheese, and I was also going for cheese, but I was going for, I would say, I was going for something a little bit colder than cheese, but also still part of the milk product. We were coming close right there. You had cheese. I had ice cream.
I had ice cream about an hour ago.
It all came from the same cow, right, Amber?
Yes. Yes. Okay, dairy. Sure.
You bet. So, anyways.
I was told to have a deck of cards here too.
Awesome. You did bring a deck of cards.
Yes. And they are I don't know where I got these, but they are pictures of George W. Bush in drag.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I don't know why.
Oh, that's good. Make Amber disappear. Lucy Bell LeMay. You guys have the same last name. Is that
We're cousins? We're cousins.
Are you cousins, really?
Yes. She's a foreign exchange student from Mississippi. Yeah.
Okay. So Amber, the trick that I wanted you to do, I was actually going to have you rip up some cards, but considering you brought such a nice deck of cards right there, I'm going to go ahead and do the oldest card trick that I know, if that's all right. Instead, I don't want you to ruin your cards. That's a very nice deck of cards. So I've got this deck of cards right here. Have you ever seen a marked deck of cards, marked for cheating purposes, that is?
I've heard of them. I've never, don't know if I've seen them.
This is a marked deck. I bring with me everywhere I go. It's got these edge markings right there on the side of the deck right there. That's a black felt tip marker on the borders of the cards, not too subtle. Back in the days of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, I used to take where the top card was, say in the situation right here, the 9 of hearts, and they'd mark it with the fingernail marks to know exactly where it was in the deck. Little nail neck right there. They called it the Lee Press-on mark back in the 80s. When the mark was rubbed away, of course, the card was gone. Thank you very much, Russell. And that's where we're going to start off the magic. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to run my finger through the deck like this. What I want you to do, really easy, is I want you to go ahead, Amber, if you would, and go ahead and tell me, Amber, when to stop.
Okay. I rarely tell a man to stop.
Do it again. Good.
Stop.
Right there. Good. Everyone sees the card. You got it. I'm going to take a look at it too. I can't. It doesn't matter. I've seen this trick probably 20,000 times. All right. 5 of clubs. You got it. You know what it is? Excellent. Card goes back inside the deck. My job is to do 3 things and not 2.5. 3 things and 3 things only. The first thing I have to do is I have to make some sort of sense out of these edge markings. There's hidden messages on the side of the deck right there because I used to work for the CIA. I used to work in optics and reflect. Don't believe that. It's Johnson, not Snowden. The second thing is I have to take this mixed up mess right here, Amber, and unshuffle it in 3 shuffles, putting it back into.
Yes, I've heard that before.
Yeah, putting it back into its brand new order. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, you know, but this is paper instead of plastic. That's what I used to say at my last job. Now I think about it. Thanks for getting the bagger joke. Used to be a 2-bagger joke. Thanks for getting that one too. Last thing is I have to go and find your card, the 5 of clubs, in a very special way. The first shuffle is known as the suit shuffle, separates the 4 suits. Hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. It reminds me of a joke, actually. What's the difference between a magician and a deck of cards? Thank you for asking. The deck of cards does have 3 other suits. It's not funny. I'm living proof that joke's not funny. Check this out on the side of the deck right there. It actually does say a word. A word does appear. It happens to say...
I can't see.
Ooh, it's going to come in there real good.
My eyesight's not
Dave
great.
Johnson 4 times.
Ah.
That's the hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades, all separated out. Hearts on top, yes. Spades on bottom. But it's also a family tree. It's myself, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. All four born David Johnson, all four magicians use this same deck of cards. That's why it's so wore out. It's kind of like a family heirloom. All four of us were also conceived in the same treehouse, but that's a whole separate story. See the rope swing, and that's where the magic really happened. The second shuffle is known as the color shuffle. Separates the red cards and the black cards. What do you call a magician without a girlfriend? Homeless, and that's not funny either. Rainy one of these days. It's all right, Amber. I'm married now. Well, 4 now. We've unshuffled the deck twice, and it still says Dave Johnson, but this time it does not say it 4 times. This time, of course, it says it just twice.
Yes.
Yes. Red cards on top, I believe. Yes. Black cards on the bottom. Yep. Now, the third and final shuffle is known as the extra value shuffle. But since I'm not working for McDonald's, well, anymore, got to rename that shuffle. I told that joke earlier today, and this woman reaches across at me, and she says, no, she pointed through the screen at me. She says, no, but my husband works there. And he was pissed. He wanted to fight me. I said, sir, sit down. Number 1, you're yelling at your computer. Number 2, you have benefits. It's a great job. I'd love to work for Mickey D's again or Burger King, get my benefits back. Whatever. I'm too picky these days, Amber. Have it your way. We've unshuffled the deck 3 times, like one of those weird pictures. It all comes back into focus to say Dave Johnson. This time, just once. That's number 1. That's me. Number 2 is I had to go and unshuffle the deck in 3 shuffles, putting it back in its brand new order. 3 shuffles. Ace through king in the hearts. Ace through king in the clubs. King through ace in the diamonds and the spades. Every last one of them. Last thing is I had to go and find your card, Amber. The 5 of clubs, right? 5 of clubs, is that your card?
Yes.
And I'd be back on top of the deck. There it is right there, your card, Amber. The 5 of clubs. My name's Dave. Oh, these are so close. So close. So close. Amber, I'm so sorry. Live show. We're not even running a 20-second delay or anything like that. Wait a second. There it is right there on the side of the deck. The 5 of clubs. That's ink and paper on there forever like a tattoo. And right now to go and say, thank you very much for having me be a part of your show. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, Dave, that's great.
Thank you, Charlotte Todd. Yes, Chris, this is the oldest deck of cards ever.
Okay, you mentioned your wife, and I'd like to show something that your wife's been doing as well.
Yeah, you bet. You bet.
All right.
Say what I want, say what they want you to say. Like I can pretend that I don't want to, and I'm afraid. Wishful drinking, tell myself that I'm not thinking about. But a fishy told me just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I won't give up, I will succeed. I will make a way for me.
I cannot lie from you, I cannot hide. And I'm losing the will to try. Can't hide it, can't fight it. So go on, come on, leave me breathless. Touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline.
Very good. You guys must have fun together.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun together. I have, yes. I had not seen that that first video where she disappeared. She had not shown that to me yet. I wish I could say I taught her that, but she taught herself that. That's great.
That's great. All right. Well, Dave, 9-Digit Dave, great seeing you, great meeting you, and we'll have you and your wife back on, and you can do things together.
That'd be great. Thank you very much, Amber LeMay.